Why do they actually need a law? I mean, we have seen Beijing put retaliatory sanctions in the past.
Well, I think this law is more interesting if you look at it as a declaration of intent instead of a blueprint for action. As you said, Beijing has not been shy about using sanctions. They've put tariffs. They've blocked trade when it comes to coal from Australia, for example. They did it against South Korea when Seoul decided to install radar from the United States a few years ago. And so that has been happening. It is possible that with this new law, with a more solid legal backing for actions such as that, that we might get a more clear-cut, forthcoming declaration of such sanctions, where in the past, when they've taken action against Australia or South Korea, for example, that has been more covert. The Australian coal sanctions were never publicly acknowledged, for example.
Could it potentially provide more clarity when it comes to foreign nationals working, investing, corporations and organizations within China as well? Because there are other clauses that talk about, the endangerment of national security and the like, which I guess in purpose and perhaps content overlaps with some of the other policy crackdowns that we've seen.
I think there is an obvious restricting of access to information and data that's happening here in China. The Chinese authorities would explain it as a need to better protect national security, and that's why they are doing that. Obviously, for foreign business people and investors, it makes it much more difficult to do business here in China. This foreign relations law that's just been passed, I think that potentially will provide more insight into future actions and policy planning. But I do not think it will change the overall trajectory of where China is going in terms of the actions that it will take. I think as the relationship between the United States, China, and the West deteriorates, I think we will see more sanctions, punitive actions by Beijing.